Hello, everybody. How are you guys? Hope you guys are good. Hope you are having a fantastic day or night, no matter where you are. Give everybody a second. Lots and lots to go over today, lots to cover. Please do me a favor before we get started. Please hit that like button and make sure you subscribe to the channel and you click that notification bell so you're notified of any future videos that we do. Okay, so let's jump right into this. Lots going on, but you wouldn't know it from the news because all any other news coverage wants to talk about is this whole Nancy Guthrie situation. It's a little crazy. Okay. Okay, so a lot of people are talking about the Pam Bondi and the hearing that happened, right? So, stupid cord. All right, we got lots to go over. So let's just start here.
I was a little embarrassed to see that she couldn't say sorry to us because she sat there in the beginning. She said sorry for what Jeffrey Epstein did to us, but yet she couldn't apologize what she did to us, what her department did to us, right? It's like you had one job was to redact our names, to respect our privacy, but yet you carefully took the time to redact all these powerful rich men. So, it's like, is it your department that can't keep up with, are you guys being sloppy? What's going on here? It's what we wonder every day. Yeah. Where did it go wrong? And then I think we all realize now, oh, you guys really wanted to silence us. And you thought that you could scare us by putting our names out there. And to be honest with you, we've been through worse. This is nothing for us. If anything, this encourages us to speak more and not to be silenced. So we like to set the record here. If there are more files to be released, which we hope that these files that are released, they need to be, the men that are, the perpetrators that we did know about and that are out there now, they need to be investigated. And we cannot fail to do that as as the United States of America. We have other countries that are taking action in this, and we are doing absolutely nothing, and it is infuriating. I was a little...
Okay. So I couldn't agree more about the steps that people have taken to redact the names of the abusers. It's absolutely horrifying that we as a country, that the people, the powers that be, are so concerned with holding back and protecting the predators. But I mean, that's par for the course. We've seen it for years and years and years. But what gets me is it's not just this administration. It's not just this administration that has been protecting these predators. These predators have been protected for years and years and years. I mean, Epstein victims were coming out in 1996, 1997, 1998, talking about the horrific abuse that they got at the hands of powerful men. And so it's not just this administration, it's every single administration from 1996 onward that has been protecting these people. So, that's the thing that, it's not just right now. These people have been protected for years and years and years and years. And it is absolutely disgusting. And no, it should not be allowed whatsoever. 100%. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go and bounce around here, but a Roblox account tied to the Canadian mass shooter created a game on Roblox to prepare for his terror attack. one of the sick games he created, a twisted mall shooting simulator straight out of a real Canadian mall where players can blast away at crowds of people. I mean, that's scary in itself. I mean, we live in this world that, I mean, 100%. It's there is so much evil and darkness in the world right now. It is crazy. But it's crazy to me that you can create a game like that. Like, you kids can go on there and create games about being about a mall shooting. Like, that's insane to me. And kids of all ages can get this game. It's craziness. All right. So recently, Kurt Cobain's death has been ruled a homicide. Like, there's a lot of people that for years have been like, listen, this guy did not take his own life. This is crazy. But here's a conversation he had shortly before his death. So let's take a listen.
She was kind of a foul-mouthed person, you know, and she hated the whole Hollywood scene, and she expressed her hatred for them publicly. And so, and she also, when she was like, I think she was 15, she entered this essay contest when she was living here in Seattle entitled "God is Dead," and a lot of people accused her of being a communist. And then she went to New York and was a part of this acting troupe. And so it supposedly had communist ties too. And so then there's this big conspiracy amongst a judge, a very well-known, prominent judge here in Seattle, and a bunch of other people who had ties with Hollywood. And they basically just set her up and ruined her life. You know, they had some pictures taken of her when she was arrested for drunk driving, and it was a big, huge scandal. And she eventually was sent to a mental institution and given a lobotomy and raped every day for years, and just totally abused, and ended up like working at a Four Seasons restaurant alone and dying by herself.
There's a Bainbridge Island. That's where she was institutionalized, right over there.
Mm-hmm.
It was just all broken down, like an infirmary there.
For years, every night there were lines of custodians, friends, and people, you know, part of the staff who would wait in line to rape her every day. You know, she went through a lot of shit. And it just disgusts me, you know, to know that there are some of the people that are part of that conspiracy are living here in Seattle in their comfortable, cushy little homes with their families. You know, it's 40 years after the fact, and it's just
is it just God,
makes
not
me
a
want
fair
to
one?
Yeah.
That's what the Christians say. Citizens. God, why was there Auschwitz? Well,
a lot of times we end up finding out that there's a reason. You know what I mean? Like, we'll get, okay, so somebody died. Well, then you end up finding out, well, they were speaking out about this. They were talking about this before their untimely death. And then it gets ruled a, you know, side. It's absolutely insane. Moving on. We'll go back to that. Okay, let's okay, let's play this. I can't even hear what she's saying. Okay, well, there's a better clip of that. Okay, Randy Quaid. They made the world think Randy Quaid was crazy for calling out the star hackers link celebrities in Hollywood, but we know the truth now. The streets of Petalwood are paved with blood, and it's all coming to light. But that's the thing. Like, there's been celebrities, or there's been people that have come out years ago, and we're talking about Hollywood and the darkness and the Satanism and the abuse and all of these things that were happening, and everybody just let it go. It's like it fell on deaf ears. Like nobody did anything about it, and anybody who dare spoke about it was labeled a nut job and cast out as an outsider. And it's like now everybody's starting to see. I mean, it's absolutely it's like bittersweet in my mind, in my opinion, because it's great that all these things are finally being exposed. It's awesome. But at the same time, you have to look at it and you have to say, well, shit, people have been speaking on this for years, and people have been protecting this. People have been letting this continue. There are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of victims because people didn't listen when this first started coming out. Like people didn't listen. People didn't want to hear it. People didn't want to accept it. And so to me, it's like bittersweet.
What he said at this press conference is nonetheless eye-opening. Check this shit out.
For the past 20 years, my wife Evie and I have been the victims of criminal activities perpetrated by a small network of individuals who are out to destroy us personally, professionally, and financially. This network of individuals is manipulating the banking system and the criminal justice system for the purposes of sabotaging our credit and our credibility. We are not criminals, nor are we fugitives from justice, nor are we crazy. We are simply artists and filmmakers who are being racketeered on. We believe there are to be a malignant tumor of star whackers in Hollywood. How many people do you know personally who have died suddenly and mysteriously in the past 5 years? I have personally known 8 actors, all of whom I have worked with and was close to. Heath Ledger, Chris Penn, David Carradine among them. I believe these actors were whacked, and I believe that many others, such as Britney Spears, Lindsay Lohan, and Mel Gibson, are being played to get at their money. In the meantime, many of celebrities' image and marketability is being co-opted and destroyed. Google helps out by keeping the negative stories near the top of the celebrity's webpage because it's the negativity that brings in the advertising revenue. I have earned approximately $40 million throughout my career. I have profit participation in some of my films. I am being embezzled from by this monstrous ring of accountants, estate planners, and lawyers who are mercilessly slandering me and trying to kill my career, and I believe murder me in order to gain control of my royalties.
I mean, it's crazy. Okay, let's look at this. So Epstein's victims declare that they will release the identities of their clients themselves without any government intervention. The fear is changing sides. Are you ready for the truth? Let's take a listen.
And also, I would like to announce here today, us Epstein survivors have been discussing creating our own list. We know the names. Many of us were abused by them. Now, together as survivors, we will confidentially compile the names we all know who were regularly in the Epstein world. And it will be done by survivors and for survivors. No one else is involved. Stay tuned for more details.
Absolutely, then do it. 100% release the names. Release the freaking names then. I mean, it's crazy. But okay, here's another thing is Jeffrey Epstein was not the only person doing this? Do you think that because Jeffrey Epstein's gone, this stopped happening? Do you think there are not more Jeffreys out there? Do you think there are not, as we speak, as this lady is up here speaking, that there's not victims right now that it's happening to? I mean, because that's very small-minded to think that way. 100%. Do you think a huge operation like that is just going to stop because Jeffrey got caught or because Jeffrey got arrested? Absolutely not. They planned for these things. Like, there was somebody ready to step up to take Jeffrey's place. But again, Jeffrey's not the only one. This Epstein thing is not the only, how do I want to say this? It's not the only organization or group that is doing these types of things. Like, these things happen every single day. There are so many victims being trafficked and sold into sex slavery and all of this. Like, it's craziness. All right, we'll go back to that. Let's go to this. I mean, does anybody else, though, notice that ever since this whole Nancy Guthrie situation story has come out, that's all the news talks about 24/7. Everything is breaking news. I mean, it took them, 10, 11 days to find a freaking glove outside? And everything is breaking news. Oh, cop showed up, breaking news. Let's talk about that for 6 hours today. You know, oh, they put a 10 up. Let's talk about that for 7 hours today. I mean, it's absolutely crazy to me. They don't give missing children half of this attention, half of this time. But you know, nobody's talking about the fraud anymore. Nobody's talking, and the news stations aren't covering the Epstein files. They're not covering any of that. They're not talking about, they're not covering any of that because they want you sucked into this whole Nancy Guthrie situation, which, I don't even know what to say about that whole thing. But it's kind of crazy. And when things like this happen, when there's something being shoved in your face all day on all news stations 24/7, you can bet it's for a reason. That's all I'm saying.
Where is this money going? I mean, we know where some of it's going in Minnesota. It went overseas. It went to Somalia. It went to NGO fronts.
And if you can't see,
we know where it's gone in some other states.
You're not fully awake. And I'm sorry, it's just you're not.
California gave away billions of dollars to a pro-Hamas NGO. But $1 trillion nationally. Where's this money going to?
I appreciate that question because most people don't ask that question. It goes to terrorism. It goes to child trafficking. It goes to drugs. It goes to terrorism. And then it's used to purchase luxury items, cars, purses, homes. That's all funded by people like me that pay taxes.
So you're telling me that the electrician who goes to work every day and clocks in and works his butt off and tries to earn just enough to be able to, make his rent, maybe have a kid or two, put food on the table, his tax money is being used to buy other people luxury items, cars, yachts, whatever else, and is going to fund terrorism and child trafficking?
Yes, sir.
$1 trillion a year on this stuff?
$115 million an hour.
$115 million an hour. How do they get in their hands on it? What are we talking about here? Trends, national organizations, criminal networks? How do they get their hands on this money?
They take advantage of antiquated government systems and processes. They go into programs that they know elected and appointed officials won't touch, and they can steal at scale. And what happened really was during the pandemic, between the PPP loans and the unemployment insurance, they learned a really valuable lesson. Government never runs out of money, and the probability of getting caught is virtually zero. I have it at 0.1%.
So come back to the recommendations that you mentioned in your opening statement. What do we need to do to put a stop to this hemorrhaging of people's hard-earned money going overseas to finance child trafficking and luxury yachts? I mean, what needs to happen here?
It's really simple. It's used every single day in the commercial sector front-end identity verification. You just don't get to say, I am who I say I am. Second, recertification of all the recipients. There is so much fraud right now in the benefit programs all across the country. We need to get a baseline. Third, this notion of a third-party independent audit. And finally, is involving federal law enforcement like the Secret Service to investigate it. The thing that people don't understand is that most of these beneficiaries, Senator, they're not real. They're fake. They're someone's stolen identity that is getting used in all 50 states.
The fraud, the level of fraud that has happened within the government, the money, the taxpayer dollars that have been taken and just disappeared with no explanation. I mean, it's crazy. It is crazy that it has been allowed to go on all this time. Sorry, give me 1 second. But not for nothing, but like this guy said, if people were to find out where this money was going and they found out that it was going to trafficking, or it was going to, you know, something like that against the people. I mean, there's so much crap that the government and these people hide from the American people. And it's crazy because they are supposed to be working for the people. It's not the other way around. The people don't work for them. But the stuff that they are allowed to just get away with is insane to me. Like, it's insane. Okay, so I wanted to pull this up. So throwback to Pam Bondi's campaign ad for Florida Attorney General. Let's listen to this ad, because people are like freaking out on this lady because of what she said at the hearing, and rightfully so. You know, I agree with what people are saying. Her reaction, the way this is being treated is not okay. But again, you have to look at the whole picture. You have to look at the whole story. And like I said in the very beginning, this has been going on for years and years and years and years. It's not Pam. It's not Trump. It's not just one administration. It's all these administrations. They've all been protecting the predators because they're all tied in together. It's what it is. But let's go back to hear what she had to say.
Well, Florida ranks third nationally in calls for help for human trafficking, where young women and children are enslaved and abused. I knew we needed all hands on deck. Businesses and hospitals to spot it, our great law enforcement to stop it, and tougher penalties to punish it. We're taking on Medicaid fraud, pill mills, gangs, and more. And I'll fight to put human trafficking monsters where they belong, behind bars.
Right. And it's that right there is exactly why people are so pissed off. Because she's not doing that. She's now helping embed and protect these predators. And that is not okay. That's not okay. I mean, it truly is. It truly is the upside down. And I've been saying this for years. We are living in a world that people don't recognize anymore. There was a shift at some point, and the world switched from being here to literally flipping upside down. The shift happened. And I mean, I don't know how everybody can't see it. It's absolute insanity.
So Luciferians cast a spell on the world. And,
For real?
Oh, absolutely. It's just like how vampires can't go into a house unless they're invited. They tell you.
No, this was a guy. He was on JRE. I believe he was a producer.
What's going on ahead of time. It's predictive programming. And once you say it out loud and you put it out there and make fun of it and do a little skit like Stephen Colbert did a little skit on his show where, oh, here's a baby.
Yeah, we're actually going to go over that video.
Give it to Moloch. And he goes into like a cloudy red, furnace and hands the baby over and he's, oh, the baby's going to be fine. And they make a joke about it and the audience laughs. Okay, we're all now conditioned.
Okay, I'm not going to play the full thing, but if you want to watch the full thing, it was very interesting. Go over to the Joe Rogan podcast, JRE, and watch that episode with him. Because he actually, comes on there and is like, yeah, absolutely. This Luciferian, this absolutely 100% is happening. And so it's a good watch. It's interesting. Okay.
The Dow right now.
So she gets asked she gets asked about the Epstein files, and her response was how the stocks are up. People are making money. The stocks are up, and that's what everybody should be worried about. That response alone is disgusting to me. That response alone is exactly why she's getting the shit that she's getting.
The Dow right now is over. The Dow is over $50,000. I don't know why you're laughing. You're a great stock trader, as I hear, Raskin. The Dow is over 50,000 right now. The S&P at almost 7,000. And the NASDAQ smashing records. Americans' 401ks and retirement savings are booming. That's what we should be talking about. We should be talking about making Americans safe. We should be talking about, what does a Dow have to do with anything? That's what they just asked. Are you kidding?
Mr. Jordan.
You want to talk about how it's improving Americans' lives? Really, lady? Well, Americans still can't afford to buy groceries because the price of food is astronomical. Americans still can barely afford to pay rent because the price of rent is insane. You can't buy a house because the median housing market is like what? 300,000, 350,000. I mean, it's crazy. So this lady sitting there talking about, oh, the stocks are up, this, that, and the third, is bullshit. Is bullshit. How this is making America's lives better. Maybe these people's lives are better, but not the American people. So for her answer against, well, what are you going to do about the Epstein file? Why are, what's happening? Why are you protecting predators? Her answer is, well, the Dow's up. Well, stock brokers are making money, or stock traders are making money. It is absolutely insane, Harley. I 100% agree with you. It is craziness. So don't sit there, lady, and tell us how life is better because the stocks are up. Don't tell us regular American people. Why wasn't the media worried about the disappearances of these victims like they are Nancy Guthrie? I 100% agree. I agree. I think there's something so fishy with this whole Nancy Guthrie story. I mean, they searched the property. They searched the prop when they first got there. They searched the prop. They should have searched the entire property the first time they got there. I mean, you got a missing lady. Just because there's blood leading out the front door means absolutely nothing. Search the entire. Then they've gone back there. How many times? They found a glove, on the 10th or 11th day? I mean, this is craziness. But all these victims, do you know how many victims there's missing kids right now? Do you know how many of them there are? No, you don't, because all the news wants to talk about is Savannah Guthrie's mother. So I'm telling you, something's not right there. Just my opinion. I'm with you, Stacy. For real. For real. Something is wrong. I mean, you see all the media out in front of her house. It's crazy. Exactly. All these people right here were all killed by illegal aliens. They don't get news coverage. No. No, they don't. Oh, and I forgot to mention this whole how TMZ ties into this whole Nancy Guthrie thing. I mean, that's a big red flag in my opinion, just my opinion. But this celebrity tabloid TMZ to be involved and be the one getting these ransom notes and this, that, and the third, especially with Harvey being, listed on the Epstein files and Savannah's husband being mentioned in the Epstein files. And I mean, it's frustrating to say the least. Like, it is super frustrating. And there's something super, super suspicious, in my opinion, about everything that we are saying with this whole frickin' thing. I can't take it, which is why you have not seen one video from me about like following this case, because I can't, like, something just seems so off to me. What? I know.
This letter that we got this morning is not a ransom letter. It is a letter saying that this person who wrote it knows the identity
her
of
husband
the kidnapper.
Ties all the way to the Clinton fund. Absolutely, to the Clintons. Oh, I know. I've been doing my research, but I have put out, I cannot tell you how many videos about the Epstein files and the connections and people that, and dude, I don't know if it's YouTube. I don't know what the deal is, but my video is just totally bombed. Like, I've never had videos do so bad for view wise, but I was literally, my first video, I was literally watching it, and within like the first half hour of me uploading it, and I watched it go from 78 down to 62, and then it didn't move the whole rest of the day. So I know YouTube is like screwing with my views for these videos. But it makes it hard to, and we'll get into the whole Life Touch thing, because a couple weeks back I did a video. I did 2 videos actually about Life Touch school photos and how it ties into Epstein and Leon Black and all of this. And it's like, people didn't see that either. Oh, 100%, Harley. Okay.
This letter that we got this morning is not a ransom letter. It is a letter saying that this person who wrote it knows the identity of the kidnapper. And for the price of 1 Bitcoin, that person will disclose the information. The person gives a Bitcoin address. We have checked it all day. So far, there is no Bitcoin that has been deposited, as you said, worth about $67,000. If this is a hoax, it's a crime. It is criminal fraud. But we turn this over to the FBI and the Sheriff's Department.
I mean, when you think of like reliable sources, to me, in my opinion, TMZ does not come to mind. Like, they remind me of kind of like the National Enquirer, but like, it's like a celebrity tabloid magazine who, here's some entertainment, don't worry about anything that's going on in real life. Like, to me, that's what TMZ is or represents. I mean, that's just my opinion though. Everybody think what you want. I can't play that whole video, but I'm going to save that for another one. Hold on. Let me get down here. Washington State father rips Highline Schools board members after discovering that his child attended an anti-ICE protest during school hours without parental notification. So his kid, he finds out that his kid was taken out of school for like with the school and taken to an anti-ICE protest.
It used to be political, now it's personal. Our children are involved. I am sick and tired of watching politicians and school boards, people from the city telling children they can go out and fucking get, excuse my language, go out and get in the face of law enforcement. Good evening, my name is Vance Galavi, and on the afternoon of February 2nd, 2026, my 14-year-old child called me. He was not at school, he was not sick, he was in the middle of White Center, Washington, in the middle of a protest that was organized for his middle school. Okay, my stomach dropped when he called me. You guys have noticed that on January 30th, 2026, 2 children were killed just blocks from the school on Rainier that was having a very walkout that day. RCW 28A-600-035, by allowing them to leave and under Initiative 2081, the Parental Bill of Rights, I have the right to know where my child goes. That was taken from me. I was not given notice. I was not given an email. I was not given a call. You exposed him to real danger. That's neglect and that's endangerment. RCW 98-42035, criminal negligence by not being aware of the substantial risk. You call it policy? I call it abandonment. I am filing a lawsuit before the Paul Johnson. I want to make something perfectly clear. Someone's going to be held accountable, but all of you will remember it. Because for some reason we lose our case, we'll make a case law out of this, protect parents' rights to know where our kids are at all times. It's ridiculous.
Look, see this lady over here rolling her eyes. I mean, I 100% understand why this father is so upset. 100%. Like, if I found out that during the school day, my child was taken by the school and taken to an anti-ICE protest, and I would flip out. I'd flip out. 100%. I think a lot of these videos that you see on here, like of parents taking their kids to these anti-ICE protests and like teaching them to like yell and get in the face of police, I think is crazy. I think it's breeding hate, and I don't think it's a good thing. But again, these are just my opinions, and I would never be okay with somebody doing that. Ever. Okay, so let's listen to this. I unearthed an old episode of The View where Whoopi Goldberg is defending director Roman Polanski, saying it wasn't rape. He was 43 and the victim was just 13. A harsh reminder how fame and power are used to excuse and minimize the worst kinds of abuse in our society.
Was not charged. I know it wasn't rape.
Yeah,
there is
a statutory.
First of all, if you're going to stand there and, I mean, are you sure this is the hill you want to die on? Because you're going to stand there and you're going to say, well, I know it wasn't real RAPE. I know it wasn't real RAPE. How can you say that when you're standing there defending a 43-year-old man who engaged in illegal activities with a 13-year-old girl, and you're going to sit there and you're going to defend this person? They drugged this girl. They took advantage of this girl and they abused this girl. Stop. I mean, this is how long they've been able to get away with doing things like this. And this is why. Because they have these freaking idiots on the front lines telling people that it's okay. It's okay. I mean, you got Whoopi Goldberg, who, by the way, not for nothing, has told stories about how she was RAPED as a child many, many times, and how she was a victim in that sense. But she's going to stand here and defend a 43-year-old man doing this to a 13-year-old girl. And this was years and years ago, but she was still allowed to continue on being a host on this freaking awful TV show. She was still allowed to continue. And it's been going on forever. This is what I'm saying. It's not one administration. It's not one group of people. I don't even know how to say it. Like, the whole system has been designed to protect predators. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. Give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. All right, let's see. Okay, let's play this clip real quick. Sorry about that, guys. Oh.
Child molest, maybe? I'm not sure. It was something. It was something else, but I don't believe it was rape. And when we get all the information, somebody will tell me in my ear. All I'm trying to get you to understand is when we're talking about what someone did and what they were charged with, we have to say what it actually was, not what we think it was.
What he said he did. He gave her Quaaludes. He gave her champagne. She was drugged. She was 13 years old. He answered. Here's a transcript. But that's what I'm saying. You're 13 years old. She was still a child.
Initially he was charged with rape. Go ahead. And then he pled guilty to having sex with a minor. Okay. And he went to jail. And when they let him out,
oh my God, I'm gonna say this, and I am so sick and tired of hearing this from people. It doesn't matter if it's a celebrity, if it's a congressman, it does not matter who, a news anchor, I don't care. I am so sick of hearing people say, let me just go here, play the second.
Pled guilty to having sex with a minor.
It wasn't ape, she says. It wasn't ape. It was having sex with a minor. No, this was a 43-year-old predator who drugged a 13-year-old girl and then took advantage of her. There's no nice way to slice that. Can we stop trying to sugarcoat things and just call an apist an apist? Can we just do that? Like, that's what's wrong with this whole thing. It's crazy to me. Like,
okay. And he went to jail. And when they let him out,
45 days.
And when they let him out.
Did you just hear that? He went to jail for 45 days. I will repeat myself. He was 43. She was 13. He drugged her and took advantage of her. He got 45 days in jail. There are people right now sitting in prison for 20 years for a drug charge. Our system has been built on victims and people protecting the predators that make and create these victims. And it's completely disgusting. You know what? It's like if all the Epstein people, if all the names were really released, the whole system would collapse. Then let it freaking collapse and burn. Because if your system, your whole entire system is built by predators that go after children, then 100% that shit needs to collapse. It needs to be completely destroyed, in my opinion. So let it fall. Let it fall.
He said, you know what? This guy's going to give me 100 years in jail. I'm not staying. And that's why he left. So that's why I wanted to be really clear, because I wanted to know exactly what we were talking about.
And I'm going, does that make it okay to instead of staying and fighting, to say, he's going to give me 100 years. I'm out of here.
I don't know if it's okay, but what...
Check, so I can't leave it. Oh, anybody but you. Oh, thanks. Sorry about that, guys.
We were talking about was what he did. And that's what I wanted to clear up. That's all I wanted to clear up. Because I don't like it when we're passionate about something and we don't have all the facts.
Okay, so he was charged with statutory rape. So should he be prosecuted now? I believe yes, because the crime has not changed. I know she wants to move on, but what does it say about crimes that are still being committed against children?
Well, she forgives him, but forgiveness is not permission. And forgiveness doesn't mean he didn't break the law. So I agree with you, Sherry.
And if, this is a point somebody brought up backstage, if he was not famous, would we be protecting him as much as we are? Because his friend Otto Weisinger said, millions and millions of people love his work. He's a brilliant guy, and he made a little mistake 32 years ago. What a shame for Switzerland, said Otto Weiser, Polanski's friend.
Well, I have to tell you again, we're a different kind of society. We see things differently. The world sees 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds in the rest of Europe. They're seen oftentimes.
Well, I wonder what Otto would say if that was his 13-year-old daughter.
Well, Sherry, I don't know, but I do know that not everybody agrees with the way that we see things. Now, would I want my 14-year-old having sex with somebody? Not necessarily, no.
Not necessarily. I can't with these people.
But I will tell you that I am not surprised that he hasn't come back. I'm not surprised that he didn't come back under the guise that he would have 31 years ago. Will he get a different kind of feel now? Maybe.
I don't know. I have a 13-year-old niece, and I know my 13-year-old niece.
I have a 13-year-old granddaughter.
I know, but I'm not saying anybody doesn't. I'm just giving my story. And I know my 13-year-old niece thinks she knows everything. But I know that if a 45-year-old man drugged my 13-year-old niece, I would go after him with everything in my power.
Where is the mother in this? Why isn't anybody talking about it?
That's what I go. Why? And I just say, what mother would let her child go in a grown man's home by herself?
Well, and this was a group of men that were somewhat notorious with women, and Mama took the baby there.
So maybe everybody will end up in court. Maybe the mama will end up in court, and Roman will end up in court.
It's crazy, right? Isn't that insane? Okay, let me pull this up and then I'll... Hold on. Give me 1 second, you guys. Oh, Harley, I agree 100%. Give me 1 second here. Oh, yeah, I want to pull that up. Okay, so I want to... Let me go back up here because I want to play that, or I want to go over this real quick. Okay, so 13 hours ago. So this says, Picture Day canceled over Epstein rumors. My school just announced that Picture Day is canceled tomorrow. Apparently, there's been a huge wave of concerned parents claiming that LifeTouch is mentioned in the Epstein files. The school says they're canceling and having lawyers review the contract. I'm not usually one for conspiracy theories, but the idea that someone like that could have access to school photos nationwide is honestly disturbing. It makes you think about how Epstein identified and targeted vulnerable kids' families, especially in rural or low-income communities. This whole situation feels like something out of a horror movie. 100%. And this is exactly what I was referring to in the video that I made. Well, I made part 1 and part 2. But 100%, Leon Black, who is was the founder of Apollo Global Management, who owns LifeTouch. They contract to 50,000 schools, I believe it is. And it's all in my video, but they contract 50,000 schools in the United States. 50,000. That's a lot. They have access to so many kids, and it all ends up going back and ties to Leon Black, who is the owner, who owns the rights to every single photo that's taken in schools, like the school photo, yearbook photos. And Leon Black was a huge, huge part of the Epstein files. He was tight with Jeffrey. There's many emails about it. He actually had to step down. I know, resign. But again, that doesn't mean anything. Just because you get rid of one bad apple doesn't mean the rest of the tree's not rotten. I mean, but it is absolutely, I could not believe it when I found out that these types of people, these pedophiles, had and owned rights to every child's photo. I was like, this is insane. I could not believe it. Because you don't think about that. You don't. But once you hear these things, it makes you go, okay, wait a second. I mean, it opens a whole new thing. So it's absolutely 100% crazy. But for them to be like, oh, well, they're going to, it's canceled, but they're going to have their lawyers review the contract, blah, blah, blah. How many years later? How many victims later? It's frustrating. Okay. All right, let me go back here. Check this out. Now, I know I've talked about this in the past, but if we're being honest, all this shit's been out in the open and people chose not to see it. So I have literally talked about this specific video myself a bunch of times, and I know lots and lots of other people have. But again, let's just look at it to show you exactly how in your face. And I'm going to mute the music so I don't get copyrighted for that. But it just shows you how in your face all this has been going on, and people either take it as a joke or I mean, I don't know what people think. But it's like the greatest trick the devil ever played was making you think he didn't exist, because he did everything right out in the open. You know what I mean? So let's take a look at this. This was summer of 2016 in Switzerland, opening ceremony. Just watch it. It's 100% demonic. It's I mean, it's demonic, it's Luciferian, it's sacrifice, it's sacrificial, it's all these things right in your face, like creatures and I mean, it's crazy. But even now, like, people still don't see it. Even with all this information that's come out, even with people still don't, I don't know if they don't see it, if they don't believe it, if they're like, I just don't want to even think about it. But I just don't understand that I don't understand that way of thinking. Because see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, it's happening every day. To hide your head in the sand and pretend like it's not. For what? For what? Okay, sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. Okay. The full ball burning video in Iran. Iranians burned a ball statue and an image of Jeffrey Epstein. We, the monotheists of the world, by the help of God, will bring down the worshippers of Baal, the worshippers of Satan, and the arrogant oppressors. So there is a Baal statue, just a demon statue, that they totally burnt, destroyed, took down. But again, like, it was built in the first place. That's the thing. It was built. It's been sitting there for how long? This statue. But we're told that this kind of thing doesn't exist. We're told that this kind of evil doesn't exist. That it's not real. Why are there statues then? Why are there statues right now of it? Oh yeah, that was what we heard. So in case you missed it, Josh Hawley said 1 trillion in taxpayer money is lost to fraud every year. Every year, people pay taxes. Every year you pay so much money in taxes. But yet 1 trillion of it is lost every year. And it's not lost to people. It's not lost to the American people. No. It's lost once it's paid in to the government. The government then does whatever they want with your money, with your taxpayer dollars. But 1 trillion of taxpayer money is lost to fraud every year. And it's not us. It's not American people committing the fraud. No. It's the people that are supposed to be in charge. It's the people that are taking the money for themselves. But yet, let's talk about Nancy Guthrie 24/7. Just saying. Oh, he was a director, not a producer. My bad. He was a director. I mean, we all just everybody just skims past that fact. That it come out that they're actually sacrificing and, eating. I think people hear this and they're like, it's so far-fetched. You're like, this is from a freaking movie somewhere. It's so crazy that I don't think people can actually comprehend that it's happening. Like, I don't think people can actually go, yeah, these people are eating babies. And that's wild to me. People have been like just brainwashed and I don't even, it's so frustrating. Like, people have been so brainwashed for so long that even when they tell you the truth, you can't accept it. Your brain cannot accept it. And that's scary. But what I wanted to say is these are the things that were released in the Epstein files. So it makes you wonder about the 3 million other pages that they've held back. What's in there? You know what I'm saying? Oprah Winfrey, to hear people say things that are just crazy, like I'm a part of a cabal and there's a whole conspiracy with children, that stuff makes me sad. Yeah. Okay. Hold up a minute, Oprah. How many women and children, underage women, how many young ladies did you introduce to Harvey Weinstein? How many young ladies did you hand over to Harvey Weinstein so he could take advantage of them? Your ass should be sitting in jail too. Okay, so I was like, I had to go, wait a minute, is this real? So Megyn Kelly had this to say, and I was like, did she misspeak? Is this AI? Like, did somebody mess with something here? Because part of me, I don't know. Just you listen for yourself, you be the judge. What do you guys make of that? More on Jeffrey Epstein in the coming year, and you may even be hearing from him directly. More on that as I'm allowed to tell you. What do you guys think about that? Because I don't know. I don't even want to say anything. Okay, Speaker Mike Johnson just admitted that the Epstein files must stay redacted for national security concerns. Must stay redacted for national security concerns. Bullshit. I don't believe that. National security? Come on. It must stay redacted because all your freaking friends and buddies and patrons are, I mean, everybody's, in it. Everybody and their mother. He argues that they contain material from intelligence agencies, which in his view raises legitimate national security concerns. Oh, Merrick Garland. Yeah, let's talk about this real quick. So Christopher Wray, who was and just stepped down as the FBI director, along with Merrick Garland, were when they did the raid on Epstein's, when they did the raid and they went in and they had boxes and boxes of material I have this. I'm gonna put a whole separate video out about this. But like I said, my videos on Epstein have been being squashed by YouTube, so I don't know what to do with it. But anyway, they went in and there were boxes and boxes of CDs and home videos and all of these things. And the FBI said that they couldn't take them. The FBI agent said that they could not take them because they were not listed on the warrant at the time. So they left them there. And when they came back 3 days later, they were all gone. All gone. Just magically up and disappeared. But the FBI agent said that the FBI took them and then they vanished. So the FBI director, when you have the director of the FBI working to protect you, right, against the crimes that you committed against children, I don't believe a thing the FBI says. When you have shady and corrupt FBI directors, I mean, I have no faith in anybody, in any institution in our system whatsoever. None. Nada. Zilch. Zero. But like I said, it's not just this current administration. It's every damn administration for years and years and years and years. They knew about what was happening to Epstein's victims in 1996. And nobody did a freaking thing about it. Not the police, not the FBI, not the government, not nobody. Do you see his face? See, they're all, this is all a big show. They are all protecting their own people. And you cannot deny that. I don't give a shit if you're right, left. I don't care. They are all, it is two sides to the same freaking bird. And they are all, and have been for years and years and years, protecting their own. They do not care about the victims. So these people up there that are attacking Pam Bondi do not think they are good guys, because they are not. They have been part of Congress and assemblies and all this shit for years, and they did nothing about it either. So to be attacking this one, it is crazy. It's all for show. Do not fall into the nonsense, because none of them give a shit about the victims. None of them. This pissed me off right here. That's funny, because we were just told, and I have it somewhere on here, we were just told that they didn't show any, they have videos of, but didn't show any that showed kids being hurt, abused. They didn't show anything. They didn't release anything that was real bad, right? They said they held all that. So for this guy for Kash Patel to be sitting here going, There's no credible information that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked minors is bullshit. It is 100% bullshit. And there's no sugarcoating that. Ghislaine Maxwell is in prison for trafficking victims. Jeffrey Epstein was arrested for trafficking trafficking victims, but there is no information that Jeffrey Epstein trafficked minors. How about the statements from the victims themselves? How about that? How about that? How about the statements from witnesses who were there? How about that? I mean, to say that they don't have any evidence of this is straight up bullshit. And again, the saga continues of them protecting their own, protecting the predators, and not giving a shit about the victims or what happens to them or their justice. Because like they told you, like they came right out and said, we're not going to release or prosecute because the whole thing would collapse. They straight up said it. And I mean, what do you do with that? It's craziness. Like it's really frustrating. It is very frustrating. Like, I don't know what else to say about it. Hold on, let's check this out. Oh, shit. I did not even realize. Damn it. Sorry about that. I didn't even realize that was not on there. So Cuba just issued a TV warning. No phones, no text, no internet. When the lights go out, communication goes with it. No apps, no money transfers, no way to reach family. This is not a drill. They're preparing people for collapse.
They're telling their citizens in Cuba, expect all telecommunications to go down. No phone calls, no texting, no internet, no apps. They usually get money transferred on apps. Nothing is going to work. They're expecting a complete collapse. They're already warning their citizens. If they're on national TV in Cuba broadcasting this, it's inevitable. And it's probably coming sooner than later. What are your thoughts? Most citizens want to be liberated, and this is the path to it. They understand. I've seen them, I've heard them say it's going to get darker before it gets better. And they're expecting it, they're preparing for it. But flat out on television, talking about complete telecommunications shutdown. Looks like it's coming quicker than expected.
I plead the fifth. Maxwell, the world's most evil bit that trafficked women and children to the elites. She pleads the fifth because she's guilty and sees her victims as human garbage, and prove this by dissolving them in acid. Lord.
Ms. Maxwell, were you a close friend and confidant of Jeffrey Epstein?
I would like to answer your question, but on the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer this question and any related questions. My habeas petition is pending in the Southern District of New York. I therefore invoke my right to silence under the Fifth Amendment to the U.S. Constitution.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, did you at any time play any role in Jeffrey Epstein's activities involving the recruitment, grooming, or trafficking of young women or girls?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms.
I mean, not for nothing, but if you traffic children, if you set up children to be abused by somebody, if you traffic children and sell them to other people, you 100% should not have any rights at all. Just my opinion. Just saying.
Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, have you ever coerced, directed, or otherwise instructed any young woman or girl to provide sexual favors to Mr. Epstein or any other individual?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, did you and Jeffrey Epstein attempt to surround yourselves with influential individuals to curry favor and shield yourselves from potential scrutiny?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, can you please provide us with all the names of other additional co-conspirators to the crimes perpetuated by you and Jeffrey Epstein?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Let the record reflect that Ms. Maxwell has invoked the Fifth Amendment against self-incrimination. Ms. Maxwell, please be very clear. Are you declining to answer the question put to you solely on the ground that you believe the answer will incriminate you?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
Ms. Maxwell, is it your intention to answer every question put to you by the committee today with the assertion of your Fifth Amendment right against self-incrimination?
I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to silence.
The answer to that is yes also. So just as her lawyer, I'll tell you, yes, that's her intention.
Insanity. But yeah, she got moved to a lesser, like a lesser security place. She's got a dog. Why is she getting all of this, treatment that no normal person gets when they're arrested for trafficking? It's crazy. Ice Cube wants everybody to know he's not part of the club. Did you guys see that?
Some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of the club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about?
We know.
I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people would be like, what? Who? Come on, man, stop playing.
Right.
So some of you may
just wants people to be aware. If you think it's an absurd idea to believe that there are child traffickers within the global elite, then ask yourself why Maxwell was given the floor to speak 9 times at the United Nations. Maxwell was invited to speak at the UN. You can't get in without a background check. Everyone knew, everyone was a part of it. It's sick. The stuff in these files, it's crazy. You know, but again, I made a video the other day, like part of me goes, okay, it's kind of bizarre that they release these things that pretty much prove all of the conspiracy theories, or what they've wanted to call conspiracy theories over the years. It kind of proves them all to be factual. So I don't know. It makes you wonder. Like, my mind goes back and forth. Like, they've spent all these years protecting this. Why let it all out now? Like, why? I don't know. I don't know. It's just, it's hard. You know, I say this a lot, like they say ignorance is bliss, because when you don't really know what's going on, it's a lot easier to just accept what you hear and move on. You know what I mean? But when you're awake and you know the reality of what gets done and how it gets done, it makes everything a lot harder, because you literally have to like dissect everything that you hear and try to figure out what's real and what's not real, what's truth and what's not truth. And that, you know, that's why they say ignorance is bliss, because it's so much easier to just believe what you're told and move on with your day than it is to have to, you know, try to figure things out all the time. Not that I would want to be asleep and not know any of this stuff that's going on, but life is a lot easier when you have no idea, you know, of all the evils in the world. I guess that's a way to say it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Comedy Central Illuminati sketch by Trevor Moore. Trevor Moore died by falling from a balcony in 2021. Now, this was a skit that he did on Comedy Central. Wow. See, what's scary about this is, in fact, in reality, that's actually how they do things. You know what I mean? Like, that's actually how it happens. But they put it out there as a skit, but they put it out right in your face. But they put it out as a skit, as a joke, try to make a joke out of it. Like, but it's actually what happens. And that's the crazy part, is they put things out in front of the people and people don't believe it. People are like, no way. That's, you know, that's just a joke. That's just them being funny. Well, shit, not long after, he died from falling from a balcony. I'm just saying that they do this shit out in the open. They tell people about it, and people are still too hooked in and brainwashed to realize that that is reality. They've blurred the line so much between reality and fakeness that people literally cannot discern one from the other. And that's what's really scary. All right. On that note, I'm going to end this one here. Please do me a favor. Please like this video. Please comment. I don't care what you comment, whether you agree, disagree. Let me hear your thoughts, or you just want to put emojis down in the comment section below. Please do that, because it shows that you're interacting with the channel, and it will help. Please share this video, and please sub up to the channel and consider becoming a member. I mean, the world we live in, it's literally the upside down. And I've been saying this for a long time, but now shit's even crazier. So just be careful, keep your eyes open, and use your own discernment. I love you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions. Keep spreading that light. And I will see you all next time.